welcome back to Goodnight Lighthouse. I'm Miss Dorothy, and we're here to do another story. And look, Mr. Matt came to visit us today.
Hey, how you doing?
So we are here at Natural Bridge, Virginia, and we're going to read a book today about rocks, because this place is all about rocks, and because Mr. Matt has become a rock hunter. Look, show him what you have, Mr. Matt.
I've got my bucket, I've got my scooper.
And we are ready to go rock hunting. But before we go rock hunting, we're going to read this book. This book is called Rhoda's Rock Hunt. Rhoda's Rock Hunt. This is a story about Rhoda, and she goes to these rivers and lakes and picks up these beautiful rocks. And that's what Mr. Matt and I are going to do today.
Yep.
And after we read this story, we're going to let you come along with us. You like hunting rocks, don't you, Mr. Matt?
I do. It's a lot of fun.
All right, so you stick around. We're going to read the story, and then we're going to go rock hunting together. Are you ready to get inside this book with Miss Dorothy and Mr. Matt? Good. I need you to sit up and listen up, because here we go. When Rhoda's Auntie June and Uncle Jonah took her on a long, long hike from their up north cabin, her shower was a bucket of cold lake water. Her dinner was salami and cheese, and her bed was a skinny little pad and a ratty sleeping bag. But she didn't mind, because of the rocks. Rhoda loved rocks. Smooth rocks and bumpy rocks, and sparkly rocks and stripy rocks, and rocks shaped like hearts and hats and horns. "All right," Auntie June said, "but you have to carry them in your pack." Rhoda loved collecting rocks, and her aunt said it's okay, but she had to carry them herself in her backpack. They were moving camp every day and had to carry everything in big, heavy, bulky packs. Rhoda's pack was smaller, but she was in charge of hauling it through the woods and over streams and to the big lake, all by herself. She's doing a pretty good job, isn't she? Carrying her backpack through the woods. One day they hiked through a beautiful birch forest with rustling leaves and bird songs overhead. Rhoda found jagged rocks and bumpy rocks in that forest, and one with tiny sparkly bits that glinted in the dappled sunlight. "Oh!" Rhoda said. Into her pack they all went. Whoop! And Rhoda trudged on, wiping sweat off her forehead. "Looks like someone needs a bucket shower," Uncle Jonah joked. Rhoda did not laugh. The next day they crossed a rushing stream with whispering water all around and dragonflies whizzing past. Rhoda found lots of smooth, round rocks in that stream, and one with a curve that fit into the palm of her hand just right. "Ooh," Rhoda said. Into her pack they all went. Yark! It's getting heavier, and Rhoda waded on, slumping under the weight, her tummy grumbling. "Sounds like someone needs more salami," Auntie June joked. Rhoda didn't laugh. That night, Rhoda hardly slept at all. A pine cone poked her through that skinny little pad, and her ratty sleeping bag was damp and stinky. So she was tired and dirty and hungry on the last day of their trip, and crabby too. Oh no, she's not in a very good mood right now. She didn't get a good night's sleep. Until they arrived at the big lake. Waves crashed on the shore, and gulls called overhead. The water stretched out to the horizon, and the beach was covered with millions and billions of rocks. Rhoda ran her hands over all those sun-warmed treasures. She found red ones and blue ones and stripy ones, and then she looked harder and found tiny banded ones that glowed the color of sunsets. "Ooh," Rhoda said. Into her pack they all went. "Time to go," Uncle Jonah called. "It's not far now," said Auntie June. At the end of this one last hike, the cabin, a real shower, a hot meal, a soft bed. Rhoda was very excited about her rocks, and she was very excited to get out of the woods. Rhoda jumped up and grabbed her pack and hoisted, but nothing happened. She pulled and pushed and panted, "Oof, oof, yark!" But the pack wouldn't budge. It was too full of rocks. "Help!" she cried. But her auntie's arms were full, and her uncle was all loaded up. Nobody could help her carry the pack of rocks. This pack was Rhoda's to carry, and it was full of rocks. She couldn't leave her treasures. She tried loading up her pockets, but the weight made her shorts sag, and she couldn't hike like that. She thought about staying on that beach forever, but Auntie June and Uncle Jonah were waiting. Besides, Rhoda really needed a shower and dinner and bed. Oh, she doesn't know what to do. She loves her rocks, but she has to go back. She loved her rocks, all her beautiful rocks, but she couldn't keep them all. She had to let some go. So she took them out one at a time and stacked them on a table slab down by the water. Rhoda worked with the weight of each rock, with the curves and the bumps and the bulges of each rock, until all those forest rocks and river rocks and big lake rocks balanced into perfect towers. Look, she took her rocks and she's creating beautiful rock towers. Well, almost all. Back into her pockets went one glinting forest rock, and one palm-snuggling river rock, and a small handful of tiny glowing agates from the big lake. Then she smiled at her rocks, the towers of souvenirs she was leaving behind. Oh, she's sad to leave her rocks, but she's really happy with the towers she made. And she's still taking her favorite rocks. Finally, she slung her pack onto her back and followed Auntie June and Uncle Jonah all the way to their cozy cabin, where a hot shower and a delicious dinner and a soft, soft bed were waiting just for Rhoda. And a sun-warmed windowsill was waiting just for her very best rock.
That was a really good book. Rhoda sure did love her rocks. I'm telling you, I couldn't believe how many she found on her camping trip. And she went to the big lake and she started scooping for rocks, just like Mr. Matt's doing down here. Look at Mr. Matt. Did you find any rocks, Mr. Matt?
I did.
Look at that one. Oh, that's a nice rock. Mr. Matt really likes rock hunting, just like Rhoda really liked rock hunting. Mr. Matt, what did you think of the book?
Oh, it was a pretty good book, but it was pretty sad when she had to leave all those rocks behind.
Yeah, but she made really good towers out of them for other people to see, so that was okay.
That was nice of her.
Yeah, and she took her favorite rocks home and put them on the windowsill, and that's probably what we're going to do. We're going to collect these rocks, take them home, and we'll probably read this book again, because this was a really good book. So I hope you guys really like this episode of Goodnight Lighthouse. We really enjoyed doing it. Now we're going to go hunt for some more rocks, and we'll take some pictures and show you some video of us hunting for rocks and show you the rocks that we found, all right? Now, you remember, Miss Dorothy's always here waiting. Oh, look, Mr. Matt found more. This one looks like a tooth. I have to be careful. Mr. Matt found a rock once and I dropped it and we lost it forever. He wasn't too happy about that, were you, Mr. Matt?
No.
But I've been really careful ever since that happened. Now, Mr. Matt and I are going to go hunt for more rocks, and we're going to show you some pictures and videos of us rock hunting. And if you want to go rock hunting, just go find some water somewhere and scoop up some rocks and see how exciting and interesting they can be. And be sure to come back for another episode of Goodnight Lighthouse. And until Miss Dorothy and Mr. Matt see you again, remember, obey and obey right away. And we'll see you real soon. Bye!